Kyle Kulinski has sold out. Kyle Kulinski has sold out.
Biden takes office, and now they're going right back to those oil fields. If you ask me about the mechanics of it, I cannot tell you, because you would need to be in the room and in the conversation.
So what Kyle Kulinski is saying right there is, okay, so, yeah, the U.S. troops on day 2 of Joe Biden invaded Syria. Yeah, he's talking about naming Juan Guaido. He's going to go coup d'etat Venezuela, and he's talking about getting out of the Yemeni genocide, but this is Mr. Iraq War here. We're supposed to believe that it wasn't Joe Biden who ordered the reinvasion of Syria, but it was the Trimmers, it was the Donald administration, the machine, the deep state, the mechanization that's still going on. The wheels of government just carried on without... Let me educate Kyle Kulinski on something. Since the president is the commander-in-chief, the entire military can't do shit until they get their orders from the commander-in-chief. It's very strict, hierarchical, civilian control over the military. This has to come out of the White House. So at the very best, what you could say is that Biden is incompetent. This shit happened under his watch, and he's not speaking out about it. Please, this is Donald Trump, right? He does a little Donald Trump impersonation. My God, Kyle Grifton Kulinski has been grifting on Donald Trump for the last 4 years. He's been grifting on Donald Trump for 4 years. And still, it could still be Trump. It's not Trump anymore, man. It's not Trump anymore. It's Joe Biden with all the executive orders and the dementia. Remember all that, Mr. So at the very least, he's incompetent, and he's and he's not saying nothing about it. But all orders come out of the White House. The commander-in-chief is the head of all the armed forces in America. How did those troops get into Syria? If it wasn't Biden deserved. We need an apology. We need an explanation for why we just reinvaded Syria. Why did that just happen as soon as Joe Biden got back in? It's almost like we ignored 10 years of civil war just to get back into Syria, doing Hillary Clinton's hawkish plan of, I guess giving it to Russia or some shit, destroying Syria. And here's a thing about Syria. We're on the side of Al-Qaeda. Just like in Yemen, we're on the side of Al-Qaeda. The Houthis fight against Al-Qaeda. The Houthis fight against ISIS. In Syria, we're on the side of Al-Qaeda. We're on the side of ISIS. We have to pay all these, jihadists in order to fight against Assad. And that's why when Tulsi Gabbard said, let's not arm terrorists, the war on terror is bullshit. It doesn't mean anything anymore. We're supposed to go after the perpetrators of 9/11. That's Al-Qaeda. But in Syria, we have allied ourselves with Al-Qaeda to overthrow the Assad regime. We're doing this regime change shit. The failed Arab Spring with both Syria and Yemen and a couple other, which might have been CIA inspired. Kyle Kulinski.
And part of...
My God, how far is Kyle Kulinski fell off? He speaks just for Democrats. I wonder if he's getting into heroin or something. I don't understand.
Of government that were, the wheels were already in motion, and Biden comes in, and that's part of what was already...
Oh, yeah, it was Donald. The wheels of Donald Trump, they kept on going. The deep state that's what's doing it right. It had nothing to do with Joe, right? Fucking defending Joe immediately.
Out to happen from the previous administration? Or is it that Biden came in and at some point within the first day or two, he got in contact with certain government agencies and was like, okay, now do the thing in Syria where you go back to the oil fields? I don't know. I don't know the mechanics of it. But bottom line is, we can all look at this and very clearly say, not a good idea.
Yeah, it's a nervous laughter there, asshole. Jesus Christ. It was Kyle Kulinski who pointed out that when Donald Trump became president, drone strikes Nora, an 8-year-old American girl in Yemen. That's what Kyle Kulinski told us 4 years ago. The moment that Trump got in there, we could have impeached Trump for murder. He killed an American girl in Yemen. What did she do? What did Nora do to anybody in this country? She got shot through the neck, just like Ashley Babbitt at the Capitol, with the Capitol riots. But the difference being that she was just an 8-year-old girl who, was minding her own business. Got shot through the neck, bled out. 2 hours later, she's going to die. A horrendous death. What a terrible end. So Kyle Kulinski 4 years ago was a beast, right? You know, on the Jill Stein, he was just 100% just right there. And now it's like, oh, he's just, I guess that Katzenberg money, he's just got, you know, the Smurf money. He's a NATO sellout. He's a NATO sellout. You know it. You know it. He's, you know, giving tongue baths to war criminals. You know this. Here's a little bit more. I'm telling you, know, that was all jokes, but this is bullshit. This is, you know, a terrible analysis. Is Biden already being too hawkish? It's a question. January 25th. He just put this out today.
You know, in fact, quite the opposite. He was terrible on foreign policy.
Yeah, so it's quite the opposite. That now, instead of listening to Kulinski, we need to listen to Richard Medhurst and Jimmy Dore. Those are the only two sources right now that I can trust. They're the only ones that are paying attention to this shit really close, and they're saying the right things. And so, God, Kyle Kulinski, I heard the Rational Nationals bashing Jimmy, the TYT. You would think Jimmy Dore is the goddamn president with all the shit that they're going to put poor jagoff comedian Jimmy Dore. This is what we should be, how we should be talking about the president. He ain't getting us Medicare for all. He's not getting out of these fucking wars. What the hell? Get out of the Patriot Act. So many things. Stop police brutality. There's a lot of shit. And you're going to what? Make sure we send troops to fucking Syria to take their oil? That's what we did in Libya. That's what we did in Iraq. That's why we need to get into Venezuela. Oil. And then there's socialist nations. Terrible example. We're an empire. They're a socialist country. And they got a lot of oil. Well, fucking, you know, why didn't you say so? Right? That's Nazi shit. That's a Nazi empire. We're the policemen of the world. We should go around stopping all these genocides. You know, you got Paul Biya, who's killing English-speaking separatists in Cameroon. Hey, America, get out of the war in Cameroon. Why are we in Cameroon defending a goddamn dictator? Yeah, right, Venezuela's about the dictator. Shut the fuck up, you lying bastard rat fucks. We're in Cameroon right now helping a dictator who has done fraudulent rigged elections over and over again for 20, 30, the whole time, just forever, for at least 2 decades. That's a dictator. That's a cheating, you know, that's a dictator. That is a dictator. But we're going to support the dictator in Cameroon, right? Are we against dictatorships? There's something else going on. Come on. Come on, America. Come on, Kyle Kulinski. You know better than this. You know better than this.
He was incredibly hawkish on foreign policy. He listened to the neoconservative establishment on foreign policy. I mean, probably the worst example, ripping up the Iran deal and assassinating a top commander, General Soleimani. You can't do that. I mean, he damn near started World War III, and then people want to give him... Yeah,
Donald, it's Joe now!
So, yeah, no. It's the exact opposite. He deserves nothing but criticism. Now, with Biden, again, we're going to keep it real with you. Whatever he does, we will report it accordingly.
Yeah, right. Bullshit.
But in this case, whether it's the mechanisms of government and the wheels were already in motion that brought us here, or whether it's Biden who actively made the decision...
I don't know. I don't know if it was Joe or if he was just had dementia and he was incompetent and he claimed Joe Biden had dementia. Now Mr. Dementia is making all of the good. Shut the fuck up.
To bring us here with more troops in Syria because the oil is terrible and they need to stop it. So anyway, here you go. Some of the first reports on...
Maybe his dementia ordered it, you know?
Lo and behold, it's bad.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Kyle. Thank you for informing me that there's nothing to worry about. The Democrats aren't imperialist at all. My God, how far has the apple fell from the tree? How far has the apple fell from the tree? Peace!